Okay, what's up guys? It's me, Troy. My video camera is charging right now. That's why I'm at this cool angle. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm gonna keep it like this. The fact of the matter is that I filmed this video twice. Not from here, twice in like the past 2 weeks, and I did not like either cut of it. So like Bush's baked beans, each of their asses got canned. That's right, he was not about to eat no pinto beans today off them cameras or them film. So I'm gonna film this video again from this angle while this camera is charging. Last time I used this camera, I did not turn it off and I threw it in the bag, so the battery drank. So bear with me at this angle. What I did in the original videos is that I was gonna make a link I was gonna put the books here and make a link to each of those books as they pertain to a blog post that I've written about them, including reviews or what I like to call final thoughts. So you feel free to click on those boxes or those books to get the full details on what I speak about in the books. So the first book that I read in the month of April was The Crocodile in the Sandbank by Elizabeth Peters. I mentioned this book before in a book housekeeping. It's a regional mystery written by Elizabeth Peters, which I just said, child. But the main protagonist is Amelia Peabody. She's an heiress to a fortune, and she uses that money to travel around the globe. And she sets up an archaeologist group camp, something of that sort, to just go around Egypt to tourist spots and, you know, to be nosy and get in everybody's business. But anyway, upon her travels around Egypt, she runs across a young girl who's fainted during a tourist attraction. Well, she's in a tourist attraction and the girl fainted. So what Elizabeth does is she takes the girl under her wing. Unbeknownst to Elizabeth, the girl is being chased by her husband. Her husband is an abusive man, and he has his sights on inheriting the girl's fortune, even if that means killing her ass. Yeah, so he's chasing this girl to kill her. Well, you know what? Actually, I don't think he was there to kill her. I think, when I really think about it, no. He wasn't there to kill her. He just wanted to hold on to her. But her cousin wanted to marry her so that he could inherit the fortune that his grandfather set out for her. The reason his grandfather set out the fortune to her was because his cousin was mixed with white and Latino, and the grandfather didn't like the Latino half of her cousin, so he took the cousin and did not include him in the will, but gave all of his assets to the girl. So the cousin wanted to marry the girl. Child, oh, Lord have mercy. I didn't mean to get all that deep, but anyway. So this girl basically has two people after her, chasing after her. So Elizabeth decides to be like the guardian of this girl, and so Elizabeth takes the girl on her journeys through Egypt. They eventually end up at an excavation is the right word, where two other men join in on the camp. They have a whole camp, and what ends up happening is that there is this mummy, M-U-M-M-Y, or M-U-M-M-I-E, however you want to do it, break a leg, who comes into the camp at night and terrorizes the shit out of everybody in that camp. I mean, that mummy was not giving up. Like, child, that mummy was like, look, if y'all don't give me what I want, I'm gonna whoop every last one of y'all asses in this camp. And he did. He whooped their asses, and then he will leave. Child, they tried to shoot him. They tried to capture him. They put a rifle to that mummy's head, and that child, he did not care. He kept coming in that camp and whooping their asses and then leaving. So, like any Scooby-Doo mystery, Elizabeth Peters' job was to uncover who the mummy was. And that happened, and it was pretty obvious. Yes, it was. It was a good mystery from that standpoint, but I think from a technical standpoint, I didn't like Elizabeth Peters' writing in particular, and it was from the first page on to page 50 or so, something around 50. She used too many semicolons, and too many semicolons just is too much for me, and I understand why people say you should hold back on using them, and the reason of that is because it breaks not that you shouldn't think when you read, but too many semicolons, it makes the writing too technical, especially with, you know, fiction. So it's like I'm reading this book, but I have to technically figure out, you know, what is going on with her writing, instead of me being you know, soaked and involved with her story. So yeah, that was one book. That was a good book. I went ahead and bought the second book in that series because I am dedicated to that series. That series is really good. The next book that I read in the month of April was Raymond Chandler's The Big Sleep. I already mentioned that in a rant video, quote unquote rant video. I could not finish that book. God bless America, but I just could not do it. Like I said in that video, you got to give me details. If you writing a story, I got to have some details. Like, your pages cannot look like I could put a Crayola crayon on top of it and just paint the bitch up. No, you got to have some words on your page. So we'll skip him. Like, goodbye. Like, somebody finna buy that book off Amazon. The next book I read was When the Emperor Was Divine by Julie Otsuka. That was a really good book. I wrote a full review on that, so I put that there. And see, here's the thing. This is why I kept refilling these videos, because I kept talking too long about these books. So I'm gonna just shut up and just say, if you wanted me to talk more about this book, here is everything that I have to say about it. And following that is Elizabeth Peters. Not Elizabeth Peters. I'm talking crazy. Not Elizabeth Peters, but Julie Otsuka's The Buddha in the Attic, which I also will have a link in a full review.